Can we hear me scratching my feet? I don't think it's picking it up.
This is It Has Pockets,
A podcast about celebrating our everyday and sharing the things we're all holding.
I'm Abby.
And I'm Laura.
And we are talking about...
Sorry. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Maybe you should start reading my mind. Know that I'm going to make a drum roll noise any opportunity I can get. Okay, what are we talking about today?
Shopping small, shopping local, shopping small business, all of that. Our relationship with it, how we do it.
I'm not just going to say, what does it mean to shop local? Because I feel like we know, but also, like, what does it mean?
Wow,
I'm not stoned. I swear.
Okay, so I think shopping local can mean anything that's connected to your actual city or just where you would travel organically. So let's go into the idea of why you would shop local.
Okay.
You are cutting down on travel of the items. So that's why it would be good. Also, you're leading into that whole, we want to have a relationship with the things and the people that we buy from. I mean, it's complicated because everything's coming from all over the place all the time. And when you buy some things local, it doesn't mean that didn't get materials from somewhere else. Like, let's all be honest, right? Mm-hmm. But as a casual person who is trying to spend money in a more conscious way, when I'm shopping local, I'm doing better for the economy by not including a ton of travel time.
That's a good point.
And then again, with the relationship of like, I know where it's coming from.
That.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, that's one of the reasons we want to shop small and shop local is that we are living in a planet that will not be able to handle me constantly on a snap of my fingers buying something from China all the time that I want to buy something.
Yeah.
Right. That's not sustainable.
I mean, I guess I've thought about shopping local and I've thought about developing a relationship with the business owner, with the product and things like that, but I haven't really put like conscious thought into it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, people are going to have different whys, but that's the why that I come back to a lot is that it's better for the economy and it's better for the planet on some level. There's no perfect way to do this. We are in messy systems. So there's no perfect way to do this. And the ability to do it perfectly comes with a whole lot of privilege. So I want to put that out there. This is not going to turn into a shame fest. And I definitely, in my own journey to try to shop more consciously, have reached places where I'm like, oh gosh, that's a shame pit. Like every time I do that thing, I feel a lot of shame. But that's like the least profitable way for me to engage with my resources. So I think making small steps that I can understand why I'm making them has led to the biggest change in my shopping small and local.
Anytime you want to implement change, you don't try to do it all in one wave where you're like, okay, everyone, okay, family meeting.
All plastic is everything.
Out of the house. Yes, we're shopping local from now on. We're only getting things from here and here. But in actuality,
garden veggies only.
Yeah, it's just moments when you're like, hey, I could do this. I'm going to do this one thing instead. It's like a little stepping stone. And whenever you're ready, you can take another step. A lot of times for me, it's instead of buying donuts from the grocery store, I go to a donut place.
Exactly. Because at that point, your money that you were already going to spend on something, it makes a closer connection to somebody who's being able to use it.
Yeah.
It's better for the economy. It's better for you. It's better for all of us. So yeah, I like the idea also, you were saying donuts, like I like the idea of starting with donuts.
I like donuts too.
I really like if you could just do all your changes in life with donuts. That'd be good.
I think donuts should be the first step in.
But start with an interest that is close to you and brings you joy already. Like people who go laundry first, don't pick something that you're already struggling with. Pick a joy because it'll help you make that change, at least for me.
That makes sense. Donuts give me joy.
Exactly. For me, it's like books, right? So I love reading. We read a lot of books in our home. We have a lot of books with our kids. I have 2 local bookstores that I always try first. Dog and Monkey. Shout out to Dog and Monkey at Fort Worth. Love them. The Dock is another one. Most independent bookstores, you can just order through them.
Like online?
Mm-hmm. You just call them or online. It takes longer, right? So we're going to talk about more time, but that's better for them. And then I'll go and pick it up. Just taking books, for instance, other ways I can shop small. So shopping local and small are two different things.
Yes.
And a lot of the times they coincide, but not always.
Okay. Shopping, yes.
So shopping local.
That's true.
Is going to a local bookstore. And it's usually small.
Mm-hmm.
Shopping small would be doing something like using Pango Books, which is like Pango Books is an app, and it's like Mercari or Poshmark.
Oh, okay.
For books.
Oh, you would know about that.
Yes.
You would.
I have books on
Say it again.
It's called Pango Books. Pango Books. And it's an app. And it's individual sellers selling their books. The same way as like Poshmark. In that way, right, I'm shopping small by buying directly from another person.
When I think about you shopping local for books, I think about when you got checked by the TSA for your suitcase being quite literally filled with books where it was to a suspicious level. Abby and I went to Boston a couple years ago, and TSA was like, ma'am, step aside. We need to check this out. And it turns out her suitcase was full of books.
I had bought so many books and put them in one place in my suitcase so the radar couldn't go through and check.
Which honestly feels like some sort of achievement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Like a bingo.
Yeah, like
for sure. I now make sure I spread my books out in my suitcase.
Smart. Pro tip.
Pro tip.
Pro tip, everybody
out there.
Spread the books out.
Also, I love the idea of shopping small and local because it makes my traveling more interesting. I've seen you do this too. Because you love pastries.
Oh,
you love,
yeah.
Like, so when we're going somewhere, like when we went to Boston, you were researching.
I've got goosebumps just thinking about it.
Local small businesses that do the thing you want, again, following your interest in the place we're going.
Absolutely. I actually have a watercolor print of my favorite pastry. So good.
Well, you realize that it's like coming up. This is like 2 years anniversary this month.
Of what?
Of going to Boston.
Oh.
Because we went on my birthday, and my birthday's at the end of the month.
That's right. I'm pretending I don't have a birthday gift already for you.
Are you serious?
So like, cute. Oh my gosh, your birthday?
Well, I don't even remember
my
own
was
birthday
coming up.
If it wasn't.
Okay, shopping small. Spread out the books. Get pastries. For me, food is a huge part of shopping small.
Yeah.
And so that makes sense that it would be like for traveling, because for me, traveling is so much about food.
Right.
And and that is kind of mirrored in my life here in Fort Worth, where I feel like the majority of our shopping small is consumables. Coffee is an easy one just because it fits into a timeline as far as being during the day while the kids are at school, and also it's cheap, it's easy. It's also an easy way to connect with somebody or make it into a situation where it's social. We can get pastries and social stuff. I'm into it. We are often at Cherry Coffee. I think if there's an opportunity for either me and Kyle to escape the house midday, it will likely include a run to Cherry Coffee. Honestly, I feel like Cherry Coffee should be sort of a case study for how coffee shops are incorporated into a neighborhood and how they take on things that are happening in the community and make it a priority of the coffee shop. Right. Cherry Coffee is run by Catherine Morris, and not only is she just an absolute gem, she's present in the coffee shop on a regular basis, which is really, really incredible. Just that level of approachability. She also recently jumped into a new endeavor of Novel Roasters, where now we have a female-owned coffee roaster. We actually started the process of switching over our coffees to Cherry, so now the beans that we order are from Cherry and Novel Roasters. That is something that we're drinking in the morning, and we really like it. But yeah, we love Cherry Coffee, but there's also a huge amount of coffee shops in Fort Worth, and I would encourage anybody to skip the Starbucks line and find what's local. It's so easy.
Well, and this has been really Fort Worth heavy because that's where we are, and shopping local means talking about Fort Worth, but we don't want you to tune us out if you're in another city, another space, because we really think that these same ideas can be translated to anywhere, starting with an interest. Coffee shop is such an easy access to changing the way you're thinking about Shopping. You just brought up cost. I think that that's something to talk about. I think people get really scared at the idea of shopping small or shopping local because of the cost.
Absolutely.
And again, back to one small thing.
I feel like I walk into a place and all of a sudden I'm just weighing how much what I'm buying is worth. Where I'm just going, is that worth that?
Yeah.
I don't know. And sometimes it absolutely is. And other times I'm like,
Or it can be 100% worth it, but I may not be able to pay it.
Yeah.
Those are two totally different things.
Let's get real. Someone who's listening is also probably somebody who is aware of the way we are all kind of like pinching pennies. Please vote in the next election. And
let's be honest, there are places that are small businesses that have very high price points. And as someone who has made my own things for a while for business, I totally understand. And I want people to ask what they're worth. That doesn't mean that that place is for me, and that's okay. So finding ways that I can shop local and small within my budget is really important to me. I also love when I can find a place that can do both, that can have a high price point for people who have the ability to buy that quality, buy that unique experience, but also someone like me that may not have a lot of extra dollars in their pocket. I do like to kind of have in my mind some places that I know I can go to where that money, again, is going to make a difference in my city, but is not going to be a situation where I'm like, I cannot afford to breathe in here. Also, if you have money to breathe, I don't know how to say this, like, please shop local, please shop small.
Yeah.
We want those places to be sustained. I just can't always be that customer. I think that's okay.
I think that is.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite ways to support that is free. Check. Laura's Braveheart reference. Anyway, one of my favorite ways to support small businesses for very, very low cost is through social media. My world right now just feels mother heavy. RuPaul's Mother song, it's just on repeat. I'm just doing mom stuff all day, every day. I'm just kind of in this realm. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just didn't really do anything, let alone take time to go to a local place and like make an intentional purchase. When we interact with their post, when we save their posts, when we comment, meaningful comments, try to interact with like local businesses and local business owners in a very intentional way on social media, because it really does make a difference.
Enter their giveaways.
Yeah, enter giveaways.
I just have to shout out one of my favorite places that I've never walked into, but I love their Instagram. It's Grow.
Oh yeah.
The plant store.
They have very
good. Fantastic little Instagram, and they just show off plants, and I react to all their stuff, and I've never actually walked in there, but I still hope that somehow that helps because I want them to keep making.
You can see a lot of brands, small businesses, organizations, all those things. You can see their growth through social media. And when we help support them online, we also help encourage them to keep doing that. Honestly, that's really encouraging. I think that everyone has probably been in a situation where they're like, it would be nice if someone noticed that I worked hard on that. And you, as a consumer, get the opportunity to do that and interact directly with a business and hype them.
Yeah. A big way to find out about your local places are things like festivals and markets and pop-ups, and it allows you to maybe see multiple small businesses in one place.
You've done a few markets.
I've done a few of those as a vendor. We've gone to some. I have my favorites here in Fort Worth. Put them on your calendar. That is such a great way for me to make contact with a lot of different small businesses. Put them on my radar so that later when I'm thinking about a gift or I have that space or I need that thing or that service, I've made that connection.
Yeah.
Food trucks are another one.
Yes.
Food truck. I think when I'm like going out, I always think, oh, I got to go to a restaurant. But I've started this idea of like, oh, I could go to a food truck for lunch instead of going to a full on like restaurant or going through a drive-through. So that's kind of a new light bulb moment in my
Do you have a favorite food truck?
What's the guy that does the
Scotty
grilled
Scott?
cheese?
Yeah.
Grilled cheese? Oh my God.
He has a grilled cheese truck. ABE Fromage. Abe Fromage. Abe Fromage. ABE. Mm-hmm. By the way, every single thing that we're shouting out, we will have in our show notes. And I absolutely, links if you're from Fort Worth, even if you're not from Fort Worth, follow these businesses because they're legit. And you know they're legit because we're talking about it.
Absolutely. I was thinking about my kids. Like, what are some ways through my relationship with my kids that we shop local? Rogue Brick is a great one.
You are not in Fort Worth right now. This is it. This is your ticket. This is the ultimate idea for a small business. Take it away. It's so genius.
It really is. It is a space where you can have Lego play inside these big, huge bins of Legos. They also do birthday parties. I know they do some summer camp.
There's a variety of ages that it welcomes. Like, you can do Legos for little kids. You can do Legos for big kids. Yeah, you've got air conditioning, and there's a sitting area, like, specifically for parents set up to just kind of sit back.
And also with the shop local, we've gotten birthday and Christmas Lego sets from there. So again, if I'm already going to buy a Lego set, why not put my money towards an independent toy store? It's again that idea of I'm already going to do this thing. Is there a step that I could include where my dollar is going to support somebody? So that's a great one. We play a lot of board games and card games, and there's a new game store, new to me, called Hero Quest Games. So if you're into games, again, I'm already maybe going to buy a new game for the summer. Can I do that locally? Can I do that with a small business? These are, again, things that you can bring into your own life wherever you are.
Yeah, I think we talked about this on our art episode, but you can search Etsy via location. I've done it a few times since. Woo-hoo! And hey, this sounds lame. Hashtags are still really beneficial.
They still work.
They still work. And so when you search insert city, small business, where if you're traveling.
Yeah. So, okay, let's say we're going to Boston. I'm going to search hashtag Boston small business.
I'm going to search hashtag Boston pastries.
And we will both end up in really wonderful, lovely places.
Truly.
Sharing online is great. Sharing in person is great too. Tell your friends about it. If you have a restaurant that you really love, or you have a boutique that you love, verbally share that with your friends and let them know what you're doing. As somebody who is working on my way to owning a small business that is a brick and mortar, not only do I want more Fort Worth people to know that the Artful Bead, which is a bead store, is soon going to be my store, I also want you to invite other people that you know to come. So maybe you're not into beads or you're not into crafting, but you know somebody who is. Like, tell them about it. Okay, what about a quick little shout out of a couple, even if it's ones we've already mentioned, a couple Fort Worth small businesses, local businesses that we love.
Okay.
Let's go.
I've been really into salsa limon lately.
Ooh, what do you order there?
Barbacoa taco. It's got mushrooms on it. It's one of the specials. I enjoy the business. I enjoy the people who run it. And I like what they stand for. And the food is so good.
Yum. I want to say Morgan Mercantile is one of my favorite places if I'm going to go get a gift or just have a little bit of time or extra cash. Mm-hmm. They are a Fort Worth based retail store. They have such a great vibe. I love that store. I think it's really different from a lot of small business boutiques that are in the city. So I always want to shout them out. They do their own t-shirts and printed material there. Their designs are just top notch.
And they're wonderful. Those are wonderful people. They really are.
You're wonderful people. We love you. Got another one?
I do. I really love Hurley House.
Ooh.
Hurley House here in Fort Worth. You can order via text. They have a drive-through window, and you're ordering
a meal,
but it's homemade.
Yeah.
And it's freshly made.
Yeah. You know when a business like that is run by a woman, because
absolutely.
What do I want? I want food coming through a drive-through window that will feed my family and support other people and is healthy and delicious.
Their cookies are really good.
Yum. The other one I want to mention is Coyote Drive-In Theater here in Fort Worth. It's really fun. A lot of times there's like you get 2 movies in one ticket. And it's something that I tried to hit early in the summer before it gets too stinking hot. An activity that's a local business. Yeah.
Okay, I've got one that it's a service, but it's not necessarily a service that I'm actively taking part in, and that is Taylor and Lacey with The Art of Dying. They do incredible service with the city of Fort Worth and with our community as far as walking people through end-of-life care, guidance on how to go about those kind of conversations. They also host regular death cafes and just sort of breaking down the stigmas with death and allowing people to connect with their humanity in a different way and connect with their loved ones. And I love them and I love their business.
I've got one last one. We have a friend, David Brown, over at Brown Wood Craft. And if you are looking for beautifully made woodwork as a furniture piece, he's worked with a lot of local small businesses doing different spaces. He's done cabinetry for places like Gifted. His work is just so phenomenal and something that at this point we are not in need of, but I just want to shout him out there. Maybe there's someone out there who has been looking for something that is going to last a long time and that is made locally. David Brown is your guy. Pockets.
What do we have in our pockets?
I'm always on Marco Polo. It's like a video chat app, but lately just have had some really wonderful conversations in there, and I really love being able to have a really deep conversation, just like we have, and just do it in small bits that I can come in and out of as my life allows. Also, I realized how cool it is to see my friends' spaces that are long distance. I don't get to be in their home. I don't get to see their animals or their kids, but something about Marco Polo being able to just have this little video of maybe where they're sitting and having coffee in the morning. I don't know. It's really special. It makes me feel close to them.
That's quite nice.
I love it.
Like of you.
Oh, yeah. I'm like a space person, though. Like, I want to see your space. I am so nosy. I want to see, I want to see where you live. Yeah. Do you have anything small in your pocket?
Yeah. So I'm really liking short hair still. I cut my hair last fall, and I hate spontaneity, and yet 5 minutes before I went into my most recent haircut last week, I was like, oh my god, what if I did a side part? Am I old? Because I feel like I took so long to make a side part go away because I was like, I'm not an old millennial, I'm cool. And now I'm kind of like, try it again with short hair, and it feels fun, it feels new, and I really like having short hair. It's quite freeing. So sometimes I look back and I'm like, oh man, that was pretty cute. I loved the way I look, but then I really love the way I feel in this.
Yeah.
The feeling of having short hair feels better than what I looked like with long hair.
Yeah. Just enjoying looking at you. My small thing is that I am dabbling in Stardew Valley.
What's that?
You don't know what Stardew Valley is?
No.
All right. It's like, you know what Animal Crossing is?
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of like that level. You're just living your little life, and you're gathering things, and you're cutting down trees and growing things, and it's very chill. And I've been trying to find a video.
Are you human?
Yes. You're just like a little person walking around this little village. You have your own kind of, I guess. I don't know. It's a farm. You have like a farm, but you also mine.
Oh, okay.
But it plays out over years. You know, it's got its little cycles. Year one, and if you're a Stardew person, I'm in year one, summer, day like 20. So it's everything's very new still. Everything is very new.
So you're farming now.
I really like mining. That's my favorite part of the game so far, because the thwacking of the pickaxe and then getting a little ching when you get copper ore just makes me really happy. Here's the thing. My boys play video games all the time. And I've been searching for the thing that I would enjoy that we can do together and communicate about. So, yeah, I think that's a small thing. It's actually really calming at the end of the night to spend like half an hour doing something that the risk is so low.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything else in my life is such high risk, but here...
That's true. Crops fail, no big deal.
So those are the things.
So, in an attempt to, I don't know, show Kyle that I really value his interests. Kyle works in tech and it's hard to find activities or interests. Even in his spare time, he's like, cool, I'm gonna create an app. Like, he designed our entire security system. And I'm like, okay, no. Like, we're never gonna relate on that. And that's just what it is. And that's probably why we relate a lot on our humor. So I started listening to the main podcast that he listens to, which are political podcasts. I recognize that I'm privileged enough to do this. I would get political information kind of through Kyle. He would summarize it and then kind of put it into a place of helping me understand what was going on. So he really likes what's on Crooked Media, which is Pod Save America and Love It or Leave It. Crooked Media also has a pop culture podcast that I've listened to for a while called Keep It. And so it wasn't that big of a jump to branch out. But honestly, I have been blown away at how easy to understand the information is. They do a really great job of walking what I would say a normal person through very nuanced conversations, as well as just breaking down the absolute ludicrous level of things that we have going on. And just things that were not on my radar.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that.
Love it.
Before we go, follow us at It Has Pockets Pod. We're trying to be more active on there. It's hard. And honestly, it's just hard because life is hard. But we're learning. This is all part of the process.
We would love to hear your favorite small businesses, whether they're here in Fort Worth or wherever you live.
Or ways that you shop small.
Yeah, shout them out.
Yeah. And tell me where I should get pastries next.
Ooh.
Would love to.
We need a whole pastry tour.
Oh my gosh. Pastry episode. Noting.
All right. We love you guys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.